It starts with a missing girl. The last place she was seen, a bar in the French Quarter. She left with a man charming, elegant, dressed like he'd stepped out of another century. He promised her a private party in a grand old mansion. She was never seen again. Locals shake their head. They know the stories. They've heard of the Casket Girls, the Carter brothers, and the man named St. Germain. Tonight, we're stepping into the shadows of New Orleans, where the vampires are more than legends. And if a stranger offers you a drink, maybe it's best to say no.
Welcome back to the Kraken Cans Cast, where we talk all things cryptid, all things urban legend,
and
all things spooky.
Spooky! Oh, yeah.
And I'm Corey, here with the red beard himself.
The freaking bearded bastard. The freaking bearded bastard, man.
Mike.
They call me the Nan Rouge.
And this is our episode number 30.
30, the big 3-0.
The big 3-0.
We made it. We finally made it.
We did.
Well, man, I felt like it was like 2 episodes ago we were just talking about so many people quit after 20 episodes, and we hit 20, and I said, oh, that's a wrap, folks. Never see us again. Sorry we had to listen to our stupid voices for another, I don't know how many weeks.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we're here.
We've been pumping them out.
Oh, yeah, we've been pumping.
Every Tuesday morning, 4 a.m., Eastern time.
We're pumping them out.
Pump episodes, man. We're one pump chumps. Get it out there, and there you go. Until December. Once we go the whole year, then we're 52 pump chumps.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a milestone.
Never heard that before. Anywho.
Yeah. What's fun? What's fun with you?
Because
the last time you asked me that, it was high cholesterol.
What's fun with me?
What's
I've
fun?
had diarrhea for a week and a half. No, I don't know. Nothing's really. My freaking kid gave me the skull bash yesterday.
Ooh.
Throwing a fit, like my youngest guy. No. He was so mad, he just like threw his head as a weapon into me because I wouldn't let him I wouldn't let him fall down the stairs. Totally logical. He hit me so he smashed me in my cheek. I went to go back and I smashed my head right into the wall. So
you got it twice.
Oh, it was horrible. I had such a headache.
Yeah.
And then he's got the audacity to start crying, so his mom comes and gets him. Didn't even ask if I was okay. Nobody cared about poor old Mike laying there concussed.
Yeah, seeing
freshly
stars.
concussed.
Fucking
Yeah,
stars.
nobody cares.
Yeah, that sucks. I've been there.
Besides that, we switched our boys' rooms around for really no reason, but it was in my wife's head that it had to be. Her logic was it was going to be too hard to move the crib out of the one room and put it in the other one. But her logic also said it would be 10 times easier to move everything else out of one room into the other.
Yeah.
And it was not easy.
Nice.
She did most of it, so I can't really complain. But, yeah, so the boys are in their different rooms. They just swap for no reason.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Been there.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I heard this funny story today that I wanted to share. I was going to text it to you, but I'm like, I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it on the cast.
All right, on the cast.
So that the people can hear.
Yeah, this is the people's story.
Yeah. So today, you know that I went to a local school district to help with doing mock interviews to their students. Well, the one student, her career that she wants to pursue is tattooing and piercing. So we did her mock interview. After she left,
please tell me that she only does tiki tattoos.
No. It has nothing to do with her. She's done that. She left. But anyway, after she left the room, I was talking to the teacher that's in charge of all this. He's a younger guy, probably our age. And
it's not younger anymore.
Well,
but yeah,
in my
I know what you mean.
In my mind, it's still younger. But we started talking about like tattoos and stuff, and then he said like nowadays with like professions and stuff, like tattoos are more acceptable to have and like yada yada. So he started talking about the school district, and I guess they had this teacher who had a lot of tattoos, on his arms and stuff, and like he would always wear like sweaters in the summer to like cover up his arms and stuff. And I guess the principal went up to him. He's like, "Hey, like I have tattoos, like." You don't need to cover them up.
Dude,
like, it's
they
fine.
just like all swastika tattoos all over him.
And he's like, well, so like he showed it. He had a tattoo of a whale's penis up his entire left arm. I have no idea. So he's like, yeah, you probably should keep that covered up.
You keep doing what you're doing, buddy. Doing a hell of a job this year as a teacher.
Yeah,
though.
I just thought that was so funny.
A whale penis.
Yeah.
Golly. Isn't that like the whale penis? That's what a lot of people think, like Loch Ness. And all that is confused.
Yeah.
Just did you ever like see the pictures of like when it is a whale's penis? I could see it.
Yeah, I could see it.
Like when you just hear somebody say that, it sounds like the most utterly ridiculous thing ever.
Up, man.
And then you see like I only like 4 or 5 times Googled whale penises and watched videos and studied, did all that kind of stuff. But yeah. Looks like Loch Ness.
Yeah.
Could be champ. Could be champ.
Maybe he just had Loch Ness tattooed on his arm. Maybe he could make it. He could just make it into a Loch Ness.
Put a head on it.
Yeah.
Well, a different head.
Yeah, some
eyeballs,
eyes.
maybe.
Two eyes.
Eyeballs, yeah. Instead of only on one-eyed Willie.
Yeah. No, I thought that was funny and made me chuckle today.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So I guess let's dig into this. I
don't
don't even know what we got today. I forget. Some vampires.
Vampires.
This is the third.
This is the. You guys haven't seen it. This is like the third time Corey's asked what we're doing today.
Yeah. Well, first
not just vampires.
First on record.
On record, yes. Not just vampires, but the vampires of New Orleans.
New Orleans.
That's how I say it, being like kind of from down there.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I was in Arkansas. Yeah, New Orleans. Yeah. But yeah, Battle of the Boot. You know what the Battle of the Boot is?
Ooh, beer.
No, not Beer Fest.
Okay.
It's I like where your mind's at.
Yeah.
No, for college football, the Battle of the Boot.
Oh, yeah. Who plays in that though?
It's Arkansas versus LSU.
Okay.
Because if you look, the state of Arkansas with the state of Louisiana, it looks like a boot when you put those two states together. That's why it's Battle of the Boot. Fun fact for everybody out there. And guess what? There's more fun facts coming. They may not be as cool as that one there, but we got them. We're into New Orleans again this week, continuing with our Mardi Gras theme.
I couldn't find my beads. I'm kind of disappointed.
Oh my gosh! I knew you had them up there. There's no doubt about it.
I didn't have my beads.
That's a big letdown. You are like
the collector of all sorts.
Yeah, and you just show up with it. It's like, hey, I'm doing Candy Lady. That's awesome because I have like Tootsie Roll socks.
Yeah.
Like, okay, thanks. Great. Like any topic I bring, it's like, oh, that's awesome. I have this perfect shirt to wear for that. It's like, okay, cool.
I did have a Dracula shirt I was gonna wear.
Dracula, but yeah, here you are.
Yeah.
No Dracula.
Oh, with the nugget nectar.
Nugget nectar again. I try to wear I try and plan different shirts.
So do I.
So when we
this
do
is only the first time I've wore the same shirt twice.
So this is why, and I don't know if I wore the sweatshirt at all yet, but I have this. I have my blue shirt on that I've wore like at least 4 or 5 times. I have like 7 shirts I wear total, like in my entire closet, like 7 shirts. So, but I figured it out. I can rotate those shirts better if I just throw different flannels on with them. So I have like 7 flannels,
like different combinations.
Yeah. So I got like 49 different outfits or something like that I can rock, and I can't remember what's what, so I just decided to throw a sweatshirt on today. But yeah, we're on to the beer for this Mardi Gras themed episode. I guess just New Orleans theme, but I'm going Mardi Gras theme because this episode will be dropping on Mardi Gras.
Hell yeah. So what we got?
So what we got today is Red Mo, which is an American red ale from Otto Brewing Company. So Otto Brewing Company, also known as Otto's Pub and Brewery, is a popular establishment known for its craft beer and vibrant atmosphere. I'm sorry if I got some of that on you, that burp.
It's not as bad as last week's, but
I don't know what's going on with me. Oh, I actually do. I just have been eating nothing but just total shit lately. So it's located in State College, Pennsylvania. We are
Penn State.
Corey has become a local favorite for both residents and visitors. And so my wife graduated from Penn State. And her mom and dad, like, they would kind of like alternate taking her out to school whenever she'd come home. But her dad started doing it all the time because he figured out he could just stop at Otto's on the way home, and he'd get like a growler, and then he'd get something to eat. And there's like another brewery, I can't remember what it was.
I want to say I've been here once, but it was when I was younger.
Like 12?
No, not 12.
Oh, okay.
Like 15 maybe.
They make a apricot wheat that's like pretty popular. But the brewery offers a variety of handcrafted beers, including seasonal and specialty brews, as well as a menu featuring delicious pub fare, which their food is very good there. They can attest to that. Contact problem?
Yeah, we're good.
Barf, man. Contacts just gross me out.
I've had them since 6th grade.
They still gross me out.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying this.
I had chlamydia since second grade.
Second grade.
Shit grosses me out.
How'd you get that?
Otto's Brewery is committed to using high-quality ingredients and traditional brewing methods to create unique and flavorful beers. The brewery also hosts events with live music, making a lively spot for socializing and enjoying great beer. Wouldn't you know that, Corey?
They do anything for Mardi Gras?
They do all kind. They have a whole Mardi Gras themed menu. I made all that up.
I was gonna say,
Made
you son
that
of a
whole
bitch
thing
definitely
up.
made that up because you like making things up.
I do. I don't know why. Like I've been really getting on my daughter because she's just been like, she tells lies like I do. They're just total bullshit. That's not even like, there's no point to actually lying about it. But man, does it tickle my fancy to lie like this. Like, you know, some people are like kleptomaniacs. They got to steal and they love to like steal candy bars. Oh, okay. That was worth it. That's how I feel about like telling just little lies that make absolutely no sense at all. I'm a kleptomaniac of lying. But today we got Red Mo, which is American red ale brewed with Vienna, aromatic, caramel, and amber malts. I feel like I just totally butchered that.
You weren't confident.
I wasn't confident. Let's try this again. Ready?
You better keep that shit in.
An American red ale brewed with Vienna, aromatic, caramel, and amber malts creates a delicious malty ale hopped with nugget and late additions of crystal hops, adding spice, herbal and floral notes to balance out the malt sweetness. And I chose this because with the Red Mo, this is the color of the damned. Red ales are known for their deep amber with the ruby red hues often resembling the color of, you guessed it, blood. It makes this a fitting drink to pair with the vampire lore, where blood is both a necessity and a temptation for him. And beer is, I feel like that is kind of how I feel with beer. It is a necessity and a temptation.
And if you look at the can, too, it kind of looks like...
Oh, God, here we go. He's looking at the can. He's going to pull something so deep out of his ass and it's going to piss me off.
I was going to say, it kind of
Here we
looks like droplets of, like, blood on there.
Yeah, it kind of looks like sperm, too, a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you know, maybe you can get some blood coming out of there, too.
Good. And if you do, go to your local pediatrician. So let's cheers to that. Take a sip.
We're gynecologists, too.
It's tasty. It's drinkable.
Oh, yeah.
It's got that really good malty finish to it. Corey's going in for seconds right now.
Like, you think it would taste a little more, like, heavier, but it's not. You know, because a lot of darker beers typically, I feel like a lot of the time are, like, heavier.
Yeah, I think that's a good red ale, too.
Yeah.
It always has that later finish. Oh, and this is a 5%er. So we're bringing our average. What was our average going into this week?
7.1.
That's going to bring it down. We're going to be around 7. 7 for the cast average.
69.
Ooh.
6.9.
Right on this table, Corey. Right on this table.
Mm-hmm.
So.
With that.
You son of a bitch. I was just saying that, and you knew it. Go ahead.
That brings us to the end of the beer section, folks.
I love when Corey, it's a good folks.
Now, I want to hear a little backstory on some bloodsuckers.
Yes, the bloodsuckers. Bloodsuckers, right? Not suckers, just bloodsuckers.
Just the bloodsuckers.
Bloodsuckers. Yeah, so I have a pretty brief history of vampires because vampires is one of those things when you start diving into the history of them, every culture has their own lore with vampires. Like, I mean, it was big in Asian culture before Europeans had any influence on Asian culture. It was big over in, like, the American islands before they were ever settled. But I think that's why there's always been that fascination with vampires because, like since the beginning of the time, there's something that has just like attracted human beings to the thought of vampires, bloodsuckers, and I think it's not just like vampires, but it's also like the living dead. I think they kind of embody together a little bit. So I dove into like one of the earliest accounts, which dates back to Greek and Greek mythology. And before I dive too far in this episode, our sources for today.
Don't dive too far in.
No.
Take it slow.
No. So our sources for today, I have 4 main sources: locationsoflore.com, yesterdaysofamerica.com, neworleans.com, and history.com are going to be the sources used for today's episode. So the earliest accounts date back to Greek and Greek mythology. And there are 4 main, I guess, quote-unquote, gods that the Greeks used to worship that had a lot to do with the vampire myth. There was Lamma, which Lamma was a beautiful Libyan queen who became the lover of Zeus. In her jealousy, Hera cursed Lamia.
Is this where the llamas came from?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. Hera cursed Lamia by either killing her children or making her unable to close her eyes, forcing her to be haunted by the loss of her offspring. Overcome with grief and rage, she transformed into a night-stalking monster that preyed on the blood of children. Over time, Lamia evolved into more generalized figure of history. Yeah, I nailed that one. Kind of. Depicted as a grotesque serpent-like creature that lured unsuspecting victims to their doom. So the next one is Empusa. Yeah, that's right. Empusa is a demonic entity, so don't get too excited. Closely associated with the goddess Hecate. Man, you know how it is when you start diving into these Greek names. It's just they're just like noises.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, just letters thrown together.
And Pusa has the ability to of shapeshift and often appears as a stunning, beautiful woman who seduces men before devouring them. Her true form is far more grotesque. Ready for this? With one brass leg and a monstrous visage revealed of her predatory nature.
If you want to.
Gosh almighty. Empusa is believed to haunt travelers at night, preying on those who let their guard down. Striges is a bird-like demon that feasts on the blood of infants, striking terror in the hearts of ancient Greeks. Unlike the last two, who primarily target adults, the Strigs are associated with the nighttime dangers that threaten young children. Their presence reinforced the ancient Greek belief that night harbors malevolent forces. And the last but not least, and I feel like this, when I'm going to say this, tell me what you hear.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that.
What's that mean?
I'll tell you what I hear.
Okay. Like, what the hell does that mean? Like, don't you freaking worry about that, you son of a bitch. I'll freaking let you have it. So I had to do like the like pronunciation breakdown because I had no idea how to say this.
Well, like you got to do. So, like, they'll give you the pronunciation breakdown, but then you have to do your own pronunciation breakdown because the one they gave you a lot of times, like, I still have trouble with, so I have to do my own.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty accurate, actually, yeah. And that's how this one's probably going to turn out. All right, so you ready? Vrikolakas.
Ricola?
Vrikolakas.
Coca-Cola.
Sounds like vampires, like, but in like because it's got that like Rocola. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Well, the term vampire was unknown by the ancient Greeks. Their legend spoke of a creature that lurked in the shadows, feeding on the living and preying upon the weak. Those early myths would go on to shape one of the most terrifying figures. I'm saying it. Figures.
Yeah, just
in Greek folklore.
So all 4 of these were Greek, mythology.
So I would say folklore. The first 3 were like more Greek mythology. This one is more of like a Greek legend.
Yeah. Okay.
The other 3 are more on like goddess and beast type layer. This is just almost like their urban legend back in the day. Well, the term vampire was unknown to the ancient Greeks. Their legends spoke of creatures that lurked in the shadows, feeding on the living and preying upon the weak. These early myths would go on to shape one of the most terrifying figures in Greek folklore. The Vrikolakas. The ancient Greeks, fascinated with death and supernatural, is evident in these myths, and they have influence in the vampire legends throughout history.
So are you saying these 4 different vampires kind of...
These aren't really, I wouldn't say these aren't necessarily vampires, but they all have
like
parts,
qualities?
Yes. To kind of like start to, and like when you go back in time, the ancient Greeks were maybe like the first to really write these down, and a lot of the stuff carry over into more ancient times.
So like this is like where the idea of vampires started, and then
some people think,
other cultures and stuff just...
And it could have went on before that, but this is like the first that we know of.
Yeah.
And I chose to kind of dive into medieval Europe and their kind of thoughts, because I feel like this is where a lot of the stuff that they thought with vampires shaped the way that modern vampires are thought of.
Let's hear it.
So the origins of beliefs, revenants is what like they kind of refer to them. In medieval Europe, vampires are often referred to as this, which were believed to be the reanimated corpses of evil beings.
Isn't that a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, it's where he finally won like an Oscar for that one. It's where he got shit kicked out of him by that bear.
I never saw it.
Me either.
I saw that scene, I think. Go ahead.
I was more into him in like Growing Pains.
Titanic.
No, I never watched that either. Can you believe that?
You never watched Titanic?
Why do I want to watch? I know what happens. It sunk.
But you don't know when in the movie it sinks.
At the end. Just saying.
Damn it. You got me.
You do know that.
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
So yeah, when they think like, and when they say about reanimated corpses of evil beings, they also think suicide victims or witches would be the
Turn
people.
into vampires.
Yeah, essentially. They don't. It's almost more of like a vampire zombie hybrid, I would say. We'll get into it a little bit more.
Are they hot?
I think they run cold. They're dead.
Okay.
These revenants are thought to return from the grave to harm the living. So what they look like, they typically are described as bloated and ruddy. So I'm going to say no, not very hot.
Not hot.
Like I just picture they're ready to blow.
Just farting a lot.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like you today.
Hey, you too. You're over there burping.
Yeah. That happens. With blood seeping from their mouths and noses. This description likely stems from the natural decomposition process, which was not very well known back in this time. So the behavior, they're believed to leave their graves at night to feed on the blood of the living. They were thought to be particularly active during the time of plagues and diseases, which were often attributed to their presence.
Ooh, so they cause them so that they can go feast on all these...
Or maybe it's just like easy picking. So that's when they're like more active. Or maybe it's just the fact that everybody's so scared because everybody's dying, they like have to think that there's something else happening too. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably closer to what it is. To identify a vampire, villagers would exhume suspected graves. If the corpse appeared unusually well preserved or had blood in its mouth, it was deemed a vampire. And it, like that, you know, they didn't like preserve any of these, you know, you just foamed at the mouth a little bit when you're dead. It's like, son of a bitch, and I knew Corey was a vampire this whole time.
Meanwhile, Joe is running around banging all these dead corpses.
Yeah. I'm glad you used Joe and not Mike. I appreciate that. So various methods were employed to prevent vampires from rising from their graves. These included staking the corpse through the heart, decapitation, burning the bodies, or placing a heavy stone or iron bar on the grave to prevent the vampire from escaping.
Is that like those, I don't know when they started, but they had those big, like...
Dude, I don't know what those are.
You know what I'm
for.
saying? Like the metal...
They're like cages that
Didn't
go
they do
over
that
them.
so like they couldn't come back from the dead or something
guess,
like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's like what I was thinking of. Something like that.
I have no idea what the actual like idea behind those were. Sounds like you need to do an episode, an emergency episode.
Oh, shit.
Get typing, bitch. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's pretty much like most of the backstory that I got. Like I said, if you want to dive into every single culture, you could have like a 30-parter, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because every culture has specific parts.
And they're all a little bit different.
Yeah, and not even just every like culture or every nation. Then you dive into every religion has different thoughts with it over time. It's quite the hole you could fall into there.
All right.
Really twist an ankle.
So we heard about that.
And
them. And
them,
those.
and those. And these.
So let's hear about the New Orleans. How do you say it?
New Orleans.
How do you say it like a local? That's how they say it.
New Orleans.
New Orleans?
Yeah, New Orleans. That, like, I realized down there, their alphabet has less letters than ours does. So, like, they just don't pronounce certain letters. It's not like they pronounce them. They just don't even, like, they just throw them out.
That makes sense.
Like, he loses letters there.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
So let's hear about the New Orleans vampires.
So I have 3. Count it. 1, 2,
3.
Ah, boy, Corey. Freaking lob that up, and you've knocked that
Just,
son of a bitch right out of the park.
As long as there ain't 13, because I can only count to 12, because I'm a werewolf.
Son of a bitch. Not a full moon tonight. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. Yeah, we're good.
Let me drink this beer.
Just keep talking fast. So there's 3 main vampires that over time kind of, I would say, built most of the folklore down in New Orleans. And the first one we're going to talk about is...
And is this like just stick down in that area? Like is
these 3 are specifically from New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are all, and
they don't venture up.
No,
up the states.
No, these 3 are. I mean, maybe they did. I don't know. But as far as like the lore that we know, are all just from New Orleans. So the first one is Jacques St. Germain. But before I get into Jacques St. Germain, oh man, I butchered that. Before we get into Jacques St. Germain, we have to first dive into Count of Saint Germain.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Count like Dracula or Count
Chocula.
Count Chocula, yeah.
I'm more of a Frankenberry guy myself. So this is who Jacques claims to be a direct descendant of. So I'm going to dive into Count first before I dive into Jacques.
We're doing a lot of diving today.
We are doing diving. Head first, man.
Michael
Head
Phelps
first.
over there.
Freaking right. You freaking ain't right. So the early life and background of the Count. The Count's birth and background are shrouded in mystery. He claims to be the son of Francis II. Oh, man. Another one I can't do. But this guy was the Prince of Transylvania.
Oh, that's a pretty big title.
But there was also absolutely no evidence to support what he said.
Hey.
Yeah, absolutely none. But if that's one of those things, like, and that's kind of what we talk about when we're talking about reading, man. You just say it with enough, like, oomph, people buy it.
So he was just going around saying, like, hey, I'm the Prince of Transylvania.
Yeah. I'm the son of the prince.
Yeah.
I'm the Grand Prince of Pennsylvania.
The Grand Prince.
Yeah, the Grand Prince of Transylvania. So what really put him on the map is he was really good in alchemy and science. So the Count was known for his alchemy knowledge and was rumored to have discovered a secret of immortality. He was also interested in various scientific pursuits. So, and I went and looked up like what alchemy was because I've always heard of it, but I don't know.
I was going to ask you, but I didn't want to sound stupid.
Yeah. Like, I feel like it's one of the, like, you've heard it before.
I've heard it.
Like, what is so it's an ancient practice that combines elements of science, philosophy, and spirituality. So, and with that, it originated in the early centuries of the Common Era and reached its peak during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. So really, you're just like not just using scientific fact, you're using biblical fact combining with it. You're using all elements of like, philosophy was like super big back then of like how things should work. Sir Isaac Newton was a big alchemist.
I took philosophy in college. Hey, did I ever tell you about that professor?
No.
Well,
I'm sure you are right now.
I'm going to tell you right now.
They're just going to tell us right now, folks.
Freshman year of college, folks, I took a philosophy class, right? 3 years after that, I think it was, freshman, no, I think it was might have been my junior year then, or senior, I don't remember, but junior, senior year, whatever. I found out that my professor from my philosophy class...
Vampire?
It would have been better if he was a vampire, but no, he got locked up for child porn on his school computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I heard about this dude. 'Cause, I mean, that's a local university, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I saw it, like, in the paper or something. I was like, son of a bitch. Like, I had front row of that class.
Yeah. There's probably pictures of you. They just thought it was just...
Yeah. Pre-beard.
Yeah.
That was PB, Corey.
Yeah. He looks like a dick, only smaller. Anyways.
Wait, I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, speaking of that, we'll dive into this topic a little bit.
We dive in some more.
Yeah, we're diving.
Hell yeah.
I got to get that out. I keep saying dive in too much, I think.
I took aquatics, too, in
All
college.
right, let's hear about that. What happened to that professor?
Dude, I used to call that professor Hitler, dude. Our warm-up was 30 laps.
Hitler dude. Is that what you called him, Hitler? Or
No.
just Hitler dude?
Hitler.
Oh, Hitler dude would have kind of been cooler the more you think about it.
No, dude. It was 30 laps was the warm-up. Just down and back one,
Dude,
down
fuck
and
that.
back two.
That's
And it's a
ridiculous.
freaking
You're
college
freaking
pool.
right. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And then at the end of class, the last 10 minutes, all of us had to tread water in a circle in the deep end and pass like a 20-pound foam
who
brick.
cares that much
Brick around
about
to each-
that? Who cares
Dude,
that much?
I remember when it was me. I'm underwater, like drowning, just like trying to pass it on to the person next to me.
Why
Dude,
is
it
he,
was
like? There's like certain professors that really think, I guess, like people care as much about their random ass shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't get
Dude,
it.
that shit sucked. That class was rough.
But no, so you were saying about that your first professor.
Yeah.
This was before I started at my job, but the guys told me there was like they like showed up there the one day and like they're pulling in and they're walking into the garage and all these FBI SUVs just come like boom, just swamping in, and they wouldn't let anybody in the building. They just started carrying computers out because I guess there was an incident with one of the managers or engineers or something. I won't get too much into it, but yeah.
Damn.
And dude, nothing ever came of it though. Like, dude just showed up to work the next week. Is he a rat?
Maybe he's
Like,
an
kinda-
alien.
Well, he could be an alien.
And I don't mean no illegal. I mean from fucking. I mean
Alien,
from.
that's not where I was going. I just figured he was a freaking rat. You know what I mean?
Maybe he's from Mars.
Yeah, could be. That would maybe the Men in Black.
There you go.
One day, I talk about doing it.
How you doing in your book?
Oh, I'm on chapter 2.
Okay,
I got a chapter done though.
that's good.
That's good. Yeah, actually, chapter 2.5. I'm on.
Oh shit.
I haven't read it in a hot minute though.
Yeah.
It is a good book, but like I'll get
But
there.
not that
eventually.
good.
Yeah, not that. Yeah, I mean, no book's that good except for Harry Potter and the.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that a book?
Yeah, The Prisoner of Azkaban. That's
Oh.
the best book.
That's
That's the best book.
I
It's
just
book 3.
I pour it out.
That's the best book.
I've never read
everybody.
them.
Quote him. He knows.
Yeah.
That's the freaking smartest thing I ever heard out of Corey's mouth.
There you go, folks. I'm
So back to old.
over here saying folks. You're saying diving.
Yeah. Let's get back diving into the count over here. So he was also really known for music and arts. He was a talented musician and composer, and his works were well regarded in European high society. And it was kind of the same with his philosophy. He was associated with guys like Mozart back in the day.
Well, I took a music listening class too in college. We're not going to get into that. Go ahead.
So, but the legend begins with the Count. The Count made far-fetched claims about his age, suggesting that he was hundreds of years old. Composer Voltaire famously referred to him as Wonder Man and said that he was a man who does not die and who knows everything.
Bangs Wonder Woman.
Bangs one, dude. I bet you the Wonder Man. Yeah, he's gotta. And his death was recorded as occurring in February 27th, 1784, but his mysterious nature and the legend surrounding him made him to believe that he had faked his death. So, like,
Ooh.
people don't know if he actually died.
So that dude could still be alive.
Could still be alive, which brings us back to Jacques St. Germain. And this
It's really Germain.
Germain, yeah. Why? Why?
I just
I don't know why. Why is that?
I'm just curious.
Okay, I could totally be butchering it, but yeah, Germain. It's Germain. Germain.
Maybe it's Germain.
It could be Germain. I'm saying Germain.
German.
German. So it all started out in 1902. The vibrant streets of New Orleans were abuzz with the arrival of a captivating and enigmatic man named Jacques St. Germain. Jacques was a tall, handsome man with an aura of mystery and charm that immediately drew the attention of the city's elite. Do you remember a couple of years ago, and I don't know if you know this, there's a girl that just came to New York, and she said she was like the heir to some random like country, but anyways, she worked her way up through like high society in New York, like all the way up, like never paying for shit, and she just like faked the whole thing, like she was a nobody. Took a bunch of these like rich ass kids' money and stuff, and she was a nobody.
Damn.
Yeah.
What was her secret?
I think she just like spoke a big game. Damn. And she was just confident. Confidence is key, man.
I know, man. Damn it. I need to start being more confident.
Yeah, I do too. And I think, I shouldn't go there. I think I'd be more confident with my pants off most of the time. But I also think it could get me arrested. So it's a struggle there. Do I act more confident or do I don't know.
I'm pretty confident with my boots on.
Your boots on?
Yeah.
Like just that?
Yeah, just my boots.
What does that mean? I'm confident with my boots on.
And my cowboy hat.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
That's it.
Yeah. And your chaps once in a while.
Yeah.
Let them cheeks fly. Do you ever notice people always call them assless chaps?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, if they weren't assless, they wouldn't be chaps, though, right?
Yeah,
it's like they would just be pants.
Yeah, they'd be pants.
Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't worn mine in a while.
Yeah. Mine are retired. Ever since the Dinkleberry incident of 2019. So anyways, back to Jacques. He quickly became known for his extravagant dinner parties where he entertained the who's of who in the New Orleans society.
It was pre-Diddy.
Pre-Diddy, yeah. This is kind of like but he's Diddy-esque, I would say.
Yeah.
His mansions on Royal Street were like just absolutely huge. They were filled with all this fine art, luxurious furnishing, and a cellar stocked with the finest wines around. No lube.
Okay.
No.
Wine. Interesting.
Yeah. I feel like it's not that interesting that a cellar is stocked with fine wine. It'd be more interesting if it was lube. Guests marveled at his tale of historical events of far-fetched places, delivering them with such vivid detail. And this is what I thought was interesting. He would talk about these old events that happened like he saw them live. Like he was there for them. You know what I mean? And this is, what year did I say? 1902.
Yeah.
Curiously, when Jacques was an impeccable host, he never partook in any of the feast, never ate any food, never sipped any wine. He only sipped from the glass which appeared to be red wine.
Ah.
But he always had his own bottle, always had his own pour.
So that wine he had in the basement, was that really wine we talking about?
The wine in the basement might have been.
Or was it blood?
But he might have had another wine cellar
like another,
of bodies.
Or blood bags.
I'm thinking bodies, though.
That were drained.
Yes. You just really, I'm sure it was just bags of blood.
Yeah.
Corey really, he wants this one.
I do want.
I'm giving it to him.
Okay, thank you.
I'm giving it to him.
Yes.
This particular habit, along with his uncanny knowledge of century past, began to raise eyebrows and whispers of something supernatural. But it wasn't until one cold moonlit night when the tranquility of Royal Street was shattered by the screams of a woman. She staggered through the darkness, clutching her neck, blood seeping through her fingers. She collapsed on the cobblestone in front of Jacques St. Germain's mansion. When the police arrived, she recounted a harrowing tale. Jacques had attacked her, biting her neck with sharp, predatory teeth. The police wasted no time in investigating the mansion. Inside, they found the scene of countless lavish parties, but something far more distinguishing as well. Bloodstains marked the walls. The bottles of what were assumed to be fine wine were revealed to be filled with
blood. Son of a bitch. So it wasn't bags of blood. I knew it. I knew the wine bottles were filled with blood.
You know what? I didn't want to give
Damn
it.
You son of a bitch. You tried to make me think it was wine.
I did. Of course I did. I'm a good author.
All right.
I got to keep the twists and turns happening over here.
All right, R.L. Stein.
Yeah. Steve King. But Jacques St. Germain was nowhere to be found, and he had vanished without a trace. And that was, no one ever saw or heard of Jacques ever again. There's some theories that say that some of the other elites in the town had actually basically just hired people, went in there and killed him when they found all this out. But I have a theory. I have a theory that I could not really find anything on.
Let's hear your theory. I'm sure it's right.
What if the Count Saint Germain was Jacques St. Germain?
Good. Yeah.
That's my theory. This guy claimed to be hundreds of years old. Basically, all the things that they said when you look up the Count, I feel like are super comparative to Jacques.
So, like, you made this up yourself.
I made this all up myself.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean.
He's fucking Jason Bourne. That's how I felt when I thought. Dude, I like Googled it, and it's just like, I don't really think so. It's like, screw that. It makes total sense. But I don't know if it makes any sense at all. But that's the theory I'm going with.
And then I think he transformed into the Rougarou.
Oh, son of a bitch. No, I think he became Edward Cullen on the Twilight Saga. But yeah, that's my theory. What if the Count, like, how crazy would that be? Because he kind of disappeared. A lot of people think he faked his death. What if he went into, like, hiding in Africa or something like that? Or just went to, like, Russia or somewhere where he's not really going to be bothered.
And now he's I got it. Now he went to Russia. You know who he is now?
Don't tell me. Sidney Crosby. Star player for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I know who he is. No, I think he's Vladimir Putin now.
Putin? It could be Putin. I don't know because it's hard because don't you think like he likes to I feel like he likes to go to these like cities with all his wealth and become like
so he's
kind
probably
of
in
like,
Saudi Arabia then.
Like it could be in Saudi or Dubai.
Yeah.
But like he likes to go to these towns, become in with the elite, but he doesn't want to become too big where he's too noticeable.
That's true.
Because you know who's going to come knocking then?
The Men in Black.
The freaking Men in Black, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was just kind of my thought after going through all of the Saint Germain thing.
I ain't gonna argue with you.
And with that, let's go
beer break.
To a beer break.
Yeah,
I got it. Yeah, we're on it.
It's beer break time. Crack a cold one, fill your cup, and enjoy the rest of the episode.
All right, back from beer break, and we are diving right into the next vampire story.
I'm so excited.
So excited. So this is the Carter brothers. Corey, these Carter brothers have a pretty awesome name combination. Like Mike and Corey. That's not what it is, but I'm saying. But that's
it's not that cool.
But I'm going to let you try and guess what this name combination
Carter.
is.
Can you give me like a first letter?
I'll give you. It's a famous actor that had two first names.
Jimmy.
That's one name.
Yeah,
that's one name.
I was thinking Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter. Is that what you're going with?
No. Okay. He had two, what? What'd you say?
Like a famous actor that had two first names. That is the name of these guys.
Jim and Carrey.
It's not Jim Carrey. It's a good guess. So the Carter brothers, John and Wayne.
Oh,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's the summer of 1932. So this is 30 years after Jacques landed in New Orleans. It was a time where the shadows seemed to stretch long and the whispers carried a dark edge. In a really shitty apartment built on Royal Street, same street, we're on Royal Street again, the Carter brothers, John and Wayne, lived a life shrouded in secrecy.
Did you say what year we're in?
We were in 1932.
1932. And the other dude was 1902?
Yep, 30
right.
So it's 30 years after the fact. They were an odd pair, gaunt and pale, with eyes that seemed to hold a perpetual night.
I thought you were going to say a Trogs Perpetual.
Well,
I was like, that's where mine was going right here.
These sons of bitches ain't that cool.
Yeah.
Locals gave them a wide berth, muttering about their reclusive behaviors and habits, unsettling aura that clung on them. Whispers began to circulate, dark rumors that spoke of disappearances, of the hushes of cries in the night, and of a chilling emptiness that seemed to seep from the Carter brothers' very presence. One sweltering evening, a frantic woman burst into the police station. Her voice trembled with terror. Arms wrapped in bandages, she told the police that they had to follow her, that she needed to show them what they had done to her. The police followed her, and she told them about the two men that had held her there, opening her arms that were now hidden under the bandages, and every night would drain her blood into a cup. They couldn't believe their ears as she led them to the building. She took them right to that shitty rundown apartment on Royal Street. The police went into the apartment to investigate the claims. The air inside was thick with the metallic tang.
Ooh, of blood.
Yes. A sweet odor that made the officers' stomachs churn. What they found was a scene that defied comprehension. Bound and drained, several bodies scattered throughout the room. Their paled skin stretched over
All the furniture.
Over the furniture, over their bones.
Oh, okay.
The officers recoiled, their faces masked in horror. And I guess reading about this, there was actually one girl between the age of 10 to 12.
Now, is this like a legit story, or
it's a legit story?
This is like a legit
story.
Okay.
Yeah. The Carter brothers weren't home though. The girl told them that every day they left before dawn and returned at dark from their job at the dock. So the police officers decided, instead of going down to the dock and risking them fleeing, that they would get as many officers to hide in and around the apartment as they could.
I just picture them hiding under all the dead bodies and shit.
Yeah, or just pretending to be them in their full uniform, just laying there
just naked.
Yeah. With their badge pinned on. And their plan worked. It was said that it took 10 officers each to wrangle each brother. And
so
these
20 officers.
These brothers were small, too. They were 5'6". These were not big, giant, hulking dudes. These were small guys. There's other claims that said that they went down to the dock to get him right then. And the same thing. It took 10 officers down at the dock to get a hold of him and everything.
They got that special strength.
Yeah, that special strength. The brothers admitted to their crimes, and they wished to die.
So they admitted to these crimes. Of
They
draining all these bodies.
That's what they said.
Oh.
Yep. They said that if they weren't executed, they would kill again. They knew that they had no control, for they were vampires. So they admitted to being vampires.
Damn.
So they went to trial, were convicted, and put to death. But the story didn't end there. In the days following their execution,
they rose again.
A chilling rumor began to spread, and when the tombs of the Carter brothers were opened for a routine inspection...
What, for a routine inspection?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's what they said.
All right.
I guess that's a thing back then. Well, because they're not buried down there because of the flooding and the way the ground is. That's why everybody's putting tombs and stuff down there in a lot of the cemeteries. Their bodies were gone, though. The tomb was empty. The stone slabs on the outside were undisturbed and the seals unbroken, but yet the bodies had vanished, leaving behind only an echo in the void. So this is where I'm going to ask you people out there that listen.
The people.
What do you think happened to the bodies of the Carter brothers? Now, I have some theories, but what do you think? If you have a good answer, or if you're from the New Orleans area, email us at krakencans.com or krakencans@gmail.com.
We have our own website now.
With your, I could have made that work if Corey didn't just scream over it. Email us at krakencanscast@gmail.com.
Jesus
with
Christ.
your responses.
Give us a 5-star review on Threads.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. But there are a few theories as to what happened to the bodies. Do you want to make any guesses?
Ooh. So the bodies are just randomly gone, right? They're just gone.
Gone.
I think they had a third person with them. A third person that was working with them.
What's he going to do with the bodies?
I think, okay, so I think he just was really trying to amp this thing up a little bit. So he dug up their bodies or whatever. You said they weren't underground. They were just in a tomb or whatever.
Yeah,
you
they were
said.
in like a tomb.
So he just removed the bodies and maybe replanted them somewhere else.
Replanted them?
And then
these sons of bitches ain't trees.
and then I think he's out avenging them and continuing their killings and stuff. But then he's stirring up everybody's fears that these son of bitches are out killing people. So now when they're actually finding people drained of their blood and stuff, they're like, it's John Wayne.
It's John Wayne.
Really, it's Jim Carrey.
I'm John Wayne at the first Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Pilgrim.
But really, it's Jim Carrey. Who's
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
It very well could be.
That's my theory.
It's Jim Carrey. Son of a bitch. So my theory's not as good as Corey's. One is I think that there's a theory that they were buried in an unmarked grave, so this inspection and all that never really happened. or they wanted to just pretend that it happened. But they were put in unmarked graves so that if there were followers and all that, they wouldn't actually know where to find the bodies. Second theory says that they were stolen by followers. They think that they almost grew a cult around this vampire-esqueness to them. People are weird. People are weird.
So people stole the bodies and like put them up on a shrine?
I guess, essentially, yeah. Yeah, people, you know how people are, man.
Oh, yeah.
There's also tales of the bodies simply disappearing. They're just gone.
They just dissolved that quick?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And this is one that I actually found super interesting when I read about it, was that they are preserved as relics. So some people think that the bodies were stolen by like the highfalutin people of the city or like private collectors, and their bodies were like preserved because people were just obsessed with them. You know how people get obsessed with serial killers nowadays?
Yeah.
That was like, I just thought that was interesting and could totally be plausible.
So maybe they froze the bodies in hopes that they
Frozone.
could bring them back.
Why would you want to bring them back?
If they were,
I mean, I get you.
if it was a cult and they like
said it. People
jerked
are
off to
weird.
these guys, like
Jerked
they're
off.
gonna bring them back if they could.
Yeah, you're right.
Hollywood.
Hollywood. He just throws it at Hollywood. Oh man. Yeah, I mean that does make sense.
That's right.
So the third and the final one that I'm going to dive into.
Ooh, diving.
I'm going to dive into the Casket Girls.
Should we do like a butterfly? Swim?
Sure.
Stroke?
Yeah. Stroke. Nah, I'm not stroking. Beef stroking off?
Free dive? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Freestyle? Yeah.
Freestyle. Free dive. I'm doing the belly flop.
I'm free.
Cannonball.
Shit. Pencil.
Yeah. Pencil. So I remember the Hawaiian. Did you ever see that one? Or you cross your arms and go on like the angle.
And like, is there like a squirrel or something, like flying squirrel or something? Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Kids used to always do that.
I'll never forget. We were out at the somebody's birthday party, and there's a diving board there, and we were all doing. This makes me laugh just thinking of it. We were playing a game like it was like a game of horse, but you had to like recreate somebody's dive off the board, you know. So the one guy goes, all right, everybody, do the Bill Cosby. And he did the Bill Cosby dance from the beginning of the Cosby episodes with the pudding pop, and he dove right in. Dude, I lost it. There's no way you can, like...
Yeah.
I mean, I understand Bill Cosby's not a good man, but that was funny.
That was pre-,
That was pre-Cosby. Long before Cosby. Yeah.
Doing the Bill Cosby now is like just putting your hands behind your back.
Yeah. Well, you don't know about it. You got that good roofalin in you.
Yeah, that's true.
Taste the pudding pop.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the third and final one we're going to cannonball into. It's the Casket Girls.
Ooh, I like that you did that. Cannonball into.
Yeah, cannonball into.
Mm-hmm. Balls deep.
So what are the Casket Girls? I think I told you a little bit about them earlier.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we'll teach them again. Here we go.
I remember.
I remember. The Casket Girls were young women brought from France to the French colonies in Louisiana.
You did not tell me about this.
Yes, I did. I literally told you about it before this.
Okay.
All right, maybe I didn't. I might have not told you about it. I might have told somebody else today about it.
Yeah, that's right.
It doesn't matter. Corey wouldn't remember regardless. So anywho, these young women were brought to France from the French colonies of Louisiana in the early 18th century to marry the settlers of Louisiana. Their names comes from the small chests or casquettes. You gotta say it with the French accent. Casquettes.
Yeah.
In which they were
What'd you say
carrying.
to do? Yeah.
The caskets.
Yeah.
In which they carried their belongings. The French government was concerned about the lack of women in the colony and the potential impact on the future of Christian evangelicalism. So they sought to bring in young women to the New World. These women were recruited from orphanages and convents and were guaranteed to be good characters. They wanted to bring like the nicest, sweetest, best women from France.
10-year-olds
Over
are in
here.
orphanages.
Well, yeah. That's how it was back then.
Yeah, I know.
People married 10. It was freaking weird.
It was weird.
The first group of Casket Girls arrived in New Orleans in 1728. Their arrival was met with a mix of excitement and suspicion because of the girls' pale appearance and coffin-shaped chests they carried led to rumors and legends, including tales of them being vampires.
Coffin-shaped chest.
Yeah, that was like that. So they were like given a like chest with all their belongings in it from the French government, and it was like it looked
Dude,
like a coffin.
I thought you meant like their effing chest.
Why would it mean their boobs were coffin-shaped, man?
I didn't say boobs, like their chest.
Their chest. I mean, it's a woman, a chest, boobs.
Well, that's what I'm picturing. I'm like, coffin-shaped chest. What does that look like? Is that like a busky woman? Is that no? I'm probably not busky because it's a. I don't know.
Anywho,
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah. It's one of them things in my notes I just didn't even think I had to, but
For the people.
for the people.
It's a chest.
Corey is the people's questionnaire.
It's a chest that you put things in, fellas and girls.
So the Casket Girls were deemed necessary for a couple of reasons. One was population growth. The French colonies in Louisiana had a significant imbalance of male to female ratio, which hindered the growth and stability of the population. Bringing young women to the colonies helped to balance this ratio out.
One-child policy will do that.
Social stability, that has nothing to do with one-child policy. Absolutely nothing to do with that at all. Nothing.
Go ahead.
Nothing. Social stability. The presence of women and families was believed to would help the stability and order within the colony. The Casket Girls were seen as a way to encourage settlers to establish permanent homes and communities rather than be transient and just bounce around from place to place. For moral and religious goals, the French government and the Catholic Church were concerned about the moral and religious well-being of the colony. By selecting young girls of good character from the orphanages and convents, they aimed to ensure that the colony would have virtuous and devout citizens who could help spread Christian values. And the fourth one was the economic development. Families were seen to be essential to the economy and the development of colonies. The presence of women and children encouraged settlers to invest in farming, trade, and other economic activities that would help build the colony up. So I read all that, and it's like, well, besides the pale skin, why'd they compare them to vampires?
The chest.
The
coffin chest. Coffins.
Their busty chest, Corey says.
The coffins.
No, but that is one of the reasons. So the Casket Girls' arrival in New Orleans from France, carrying small coffin-shaped chests or caskets, were added to the aura of mystery, and their pale appearance after they got off the ship. You include that with some of the dark history of ghosts and vampires within the city, and it just kind of creates this like perfect atmosphere where something like this would just be a little bit spooky.
So New Orleans, how do you say it as a local?
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Is that okay?
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Move your tongue less. New Orleans.
New Orleans.
More than that, though.
So why there?
I don't know. I have absolutely no. No, I'm just kidding. I got all kinds of information for that. Why they would want to hang out in that stinky ass swampland that is New Orleans.
New Orleans.
So the voodoo influence had a lot on it. Coming up, the city's association with voodoo, a spiritual practice with deep roots in African, Haitian, and Creole traditions, adds to a mystery and a dark aura. The presence of voodoo queens like Marie Devey. Did I say that right? Devey?
Confident. I would have agreed with you, but did you say that right? Well,
yeah.
Now I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
If you would have just, boom, I would have been like, hell yeah.
The presence of voodoo queens down there made the supernatural reputation of New Orleans spooky. Historical cemeteries. The city's above-ground cemeteries, often called cities of the dead, were both haunting and beautiful. Their unique architecture and eerie atmosphere contributed to much of the city's mystique.
What the hell's an above-ground cemetery?
It's like the tombs that they put them in, those above-ground tombs.
Okay. I was thinking like an above-ground pool.
It's kind of the same.
I guess.
It's pretty much exactly that, but with a roof.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of the Gothic architecture down there, the French Quarter, and other areas of New Orleans were filled with historical buildings featuring Gothic architecture, like the iron balconies, hidden courtyards, and age facades evoke images of old world Europe. I always think of like the hidden balcony or the hidden courtyards in like New Orleans for some reason, like when they build the building kind of like in a square and have a courtyard in the middle. I don't know why, like that's like New Orleans to me. Literary influence. New Orleans has been the backdrop of numerous works of fiction, most notably Anne Rice's The Vampire Chronicles. Her vivid description of the cities have immortalized it as a haven for vampires in popular culture.
That's good. That's a good novel.
You son of a bitch. I know you didn't read it, because I was going to say that I read it because I'm a pathological liar, and I know you didn't read it. What's the author's name again?
J.K. Rowling.
You son of a bitch. You got it right.
I knew there were 2 letters. Was there 2 letters?
It was Anne Rice. No, it's not 2 letters. It's not Anne spelled A-N.
Shit.
Cultural
I thought you said
festivals.
A-N. Rice.
No, it's just Anne. Okay. So events like Mardi Gras with its masks and costumes and celebrations that go deep into the night add to the sense of mystery surrounding the entire city, and the legends like the Carter brothers, the Casket Girls, and Saint Germain deal with a lot of it. The city's history includes tales of piracy, voodoo curses, and the horrors of slavery.
You forgot the Rougarou.
The Rougarou's up there. He's kind of like he's a pirate.
Oh.
He kind of piracies.
Yeah, he lives in the swamp, so
Yeah.
he might have a little wooden ship.
Yeah, like a butt pirate.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like those fudge packers.
I don't know.
You're wearing a sweatshirt.
Yeah, at least we don't have the first pick. So all elements combine to make New Orleans a unique and enigmatic place where the lines between natural and supernatural often blur. So, Corey, I have a game for you.
Ooh. Let's play.
If you're in.
I'm in.
I am going to ask you questions. There's no right or wrong answer to these questions.
Oh, I love these type of games.
I'm just going to rapid fire. I have like 5 or 6 questions. I'm going to rapid fire you questions.
First thing to come to my mind?
You got to rapid fire answers, yes.
Oh, let's go.
All right. So, Corey, are you ready? Crack that beer open. Mix that with your
Nugget
Hopsell
nectar
over there. Yeah.
Might be a little bit of the whatever that is too.
I don't think so.
Odos?
Odos?
Autos?
Autos. All right.
All right, we're ready.
So, Corey, like I said, there are no wrong answers.
Oh, I love these.
There are right answers, no wrong answers.
Ooh, love it. Let's go.
Corey, best movie with a vampire in it?
The Little Vampire.
Wrong. It's Eclipse in the Twilight Saga. Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Jacob.
Wrong. It's Team Edward. If you were a vampire, where would you choose to live?
Transylvania.
That's wrong. Alaska's the right answer. If you were a vampire, how would you want to die?
Stake to the chest.
Anal trauma was the answer we were looking for.
Ooh.
If you could bite any celebrity in the world and they would have to be with you forever, who would it be?
Helen Keller.
Anne Hathaway, because that woman should live forever. I also accepted John Goodman. Last but not least, should you...
Alex Rodriguez.
Wrong. Should they make a new Buffy Vampire Slayer, and why shouldn't they?
Can repeat that question?
Should they make a new Buffy the Vampire series, and why shouldn't they?
I guess the original was so good.
Corey finally got one, son of a bitch. Sarah Michelle Gellar is a national treasure, and you better freaking believe it. Little vampire instead of the Eclipse. That's what I got for the episode. That's the New Orleans vampires.
Hell yeah.
That brings us on to
The folk
lore
score.
Let's get it.
Boom. All right, we're back.
You're so aggressive when you bring us back.
I know.
You made
Because I was waiting so long, so it's like, all right, we're back. All right, we're back with the folk lore score. And if you guys don't know what the folklore score is, well, listen to our other episodes because we go through it.
Yeah, I'll just explain it to you real quick. We have five categories. We each give a score 1 to 20. 1 to 20. We each give a score 1 to 10. With a top score of 50, we add our scores up, and they go up on the folklore score board. Right now, Boo Hag is at number 10. She's the Swamp Witch to beat. And I'll just run it down our list real quick. We have Krampus 1, Possessed Dolls 2, Kraken 3, Mothman 4. At 5, we have Black Eyes Kids and Ouija boards tied. So that brings us number 7 for Bloody Mary, 8 Hookman, 9 Hatman, and 10 is the Boo Hag. And Corey has absolutely no confidence since he already gave it a score of 19. I know. I could tell by the way you wrote it.
You son of a bitch! There's no way. I did.
I could tell.
I did a bunch of fake circles.
I could tell. I could tell which one was the real one. So let's unveil our scores. I got a score of 24. Corey has 19. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum.
43.
43. So we're still not in the 30s yet. And 40 in the 40s brings it to a mild myth. This urban legend offers a mild scare and minimal threat levels, providing listeners with entertaining. This was entertaining. This is so right. This is super entertaining. But yeah, there's other stuff there. But
So we go through the scores real quick.
yeah, go ahead. You run. You go. You lead the
Number
scores.
1, spookiness. I had a 3.
I had a 3.
Historical and cultural significance. I gave it a 4.
I gave it an 8. They have Vampire Diaries down in New Orleans.
But isn't it just in that area?
Yeah, it's Vampire Diaries is in New Orleans.
Okay. Yep. Gotcha.
Yep.
Number 3, believability. What you got?
5.
I got 4.
Pretty close.
Uniqueness. What you got?
3.
Out of 4.
There we go.
And then threat level.
5.
4.
Yeah, so we're pretty much on
There's
par,
just like that one
except for the historical, cultural significance. Pretty much right on par.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our episode.
Yeah. So
Vampires,
with that,
New Orleans. Don't even start. You know that's my. You don't even say it right. This is. Do you want to hear my impression of you saying it?
Yeah.
Hand with. That's what you sound like. Your voice cracks. It's not even right. It's not
All right.
even-
You want me to do yours?
yeah, let's hear it.
So with that.
So with that, I never say so with that. I say and with that. He's wrong. He already screwed up their impression. It's over. It's over. Corey, where
I fucked it up.
where do they gotta follow us at?
And with that, you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, X, and Threads. They get a little bit of action here and there, but last resort.
Yeah, we post on Facebook Marketplace a lot. So if you're looking to buy used condoms and other
Mike's,
disgusting paraphernalia,
jelly rolls, socks, and
no,
white tees.
they go right in the trash. Right in
Yeah.
the trash.
We get them out, though.
So I'm Crack Daddy Mike. I'm out of here.
BK Corey. It's not the butt crack. It's just BK.
It's the butt crack. Corey's stupid.